Can you feel it, Lions fans? That electric buzz crawling up your spine, the kind that only surfaces when you know something monumental is creeping just beneath the surface? Is this the off-season that shatters the cycle of hope and heartbreak, finally tipping Detroit over into the limelight we've craved for decades? Imagine the roar erupting from Ford Field when history remembers this moment, not just another news cycle, but a seismic shift in our destiny that could reshape our identity and send shockwaves through the entire NFC North. Mash that like button and drop your belief in the comments if you're ready for the Lions to flip the script and rewrite the narrative that's held us captive for far too long. Whispers have been swirling in the shadows, rumors spreading like wildfire inside the Lions' war room, where every move is measured with the precision of a grandmaster on the chessboard. Insiders, those with fingers on the pulse of the front office heartbeat, are buzzing about a trade that could redefine everything from the trenches on defense to the very soul of this franchise. A presence so electrifying that it threatens to unbalance the established order across the league. A secret weapon waiting to ignite Detroit's long-dormant defense and energize a fan base famished for real, sustained success. If what's swirling in the rumor mill is true, the rivalries will intensify, the standings will shift, and the name of one player will become synonymous with the Lions' resurgence, forever etched in the lore of a city desperate for glory. Hold tight, because here's the revelation. Detroit is closing in on a blockbuster trade for Sheimar Stewart, the explosive defensive end drafted 17th overall in 2025 by the Cincinnati Bengals. A Cincinnati Bengals player whose dynamic power and versatility make him a true game-changer on the defensive line. Stewart isn't just another body to fill in the gaps. He's the missing piece in a defensive puzzle that's been waiting for a jolt of raw, uncompromising talent to push Detroit over the edge. Think about it, Aiden Hutchinson anchors one side, a relentless leader who embodies the ferocity we need. But on the other side, the picture is anything but complete. Marcus Davenport remains an uncertainty, while Alem McNeil and DJ Rear provide steady, but not necessarily devastating presence. Sheimar Stewart changes that equation instantly. His ability to dominate the trenches, disrupt defenses on all three downs, and drain the life out of opposing backfields could unleash the full potential of Detroit's defense. Strategically, it's a chess move worthy of Dan Campbell's boldness swapping a future first-round pick in 2026, likely near the end of the round, for a ready now. Top 20 talent whose prime aligns perfectly with the team's trajectory. This isn't just a trade. It's a declaration of ambition and a bet that Detroit is no longer building for tomorrow, it's charging straight into a 2025 season primed for contention. Remember those gut-wrenching playoff near misses, the seasons we came so close yet were denied by heartbreak or injury? The echoes of that story 57 defense that nearly roared all the way to the summit still haunt this city's proud legacy. This might be our moment to break free from decades of near misses, to finally harness the fierce hunger that runs through the veins of every Lions fan. But let's not pretend this path is paved without risk. What if this signing disrupts the chemistry carefully nurtured in the locker room? The integration of a fiery young talent like Stewart could either ignite a camaraderie that powers us deep into the playoffs or stir up tensions that threaten the delicate balance. What if this move catalyzes the fiercest playoff run since the days of Barry Sanders, electrifying a roster and fan base alike? Or what if it burdens the team with expectations too heavy to bear? The stakes have never been higher, the spotlight never more intense, and the hunger never more palpable. The Lions front office is staring down a crossroads where boldness is the currency of progress and hesitation could mean missed opportunity. And if this domino falls, if Detroit pulls the trigger and brings Stewart into the fold, it might just unleash the wildest Lions offseason in history, a roller coaster of emotion, strategy, and raw passion that puts this franchise on a collision course with destiny. The countdown to 2025 just shifted into a higher gear. And if you're feeling that fire burning in your chest right now, you're not alone. Buckle up. Lions fans, this ride is just beginning. Asterisk now. Listen up, Detroit, if your soul is clawing. At the cage, like a hungry lion circling the last piece of fresh meat, it's time to flood the comment boards with your raws, fiercest predictions, because this isn't business as usual. This is the dawn of a new era that might just send shockwaves all the way to Green Bay and Minneapolis. Picture this: Sheimar Stewart strutting onto the Ford Field turf, the crowd buzzing louder than the city's heartbeat during those primetime Monday night lights. And all across the NFC North, the Packers' smug smiles turn to clenched fists. Minnesota's Vikings begin to sweat under the weight of Detroit's newfound edge. And Chicago shivers with the dread of a phoenix rising from the ashes of a franchise marred by struggles of its own. But make no mistake, this move isn't just a shot fired across the bow of our division rivals. It's a spark that could ignite an entire locker room, goosebump every soul from the vets who bled through countless losses to the fresh faces, who've only heard tales of Barry Sanders running wild, of Calvin Johnson's majestic catches, of those seasons that slipped through our fingers like water. Will it unite the locker room or fracture it? Will Hutchinson, that relentless, passionate beast who's been the defensive rock, welcome Stewart as the brother-in-arms he needs to push this pack to greatness? Or will the chemistry of youthful swagger and seasoned grit clash like thunder and lightning, threatening the fragile balance so often lacking in Detroit's spiraling seasons? The question hanging in the stale Detroit air isn't just about one player's arrival. It's about a tectonic shift in the franchise's very soul, a gamble that could either end the 30-plus year playoff drought that's haunted this city since that heart-wrenching 1991 wild-card loss, or sink us deeper into the abyss of futility we've known since the dark Caldwell days when hope was rationed like a scarce resource. Imagine the drama unfolding if this trade sets off a domino effect, a series of high-stakes power moves that transform the Lions from long-suffering underdogs to the fiercest contenders the NFC has seen in decades. Could this wake a sleeping giant, inspiring the front office to double down on boldness, bringing in that elusive quarterback who finally commands respect? Could it turbocharge the defense into a relentless beast that echoes the glory days of the '57 Lions? A defense so suffocating and fierce that opposing offenses quake like they did back in the Megatron era when no one could stop those bombs from raining down? And what about the fan base, the proud, gritty people of Detroit who've been starved for a playoff win for what feels like an eternity? Will this be the moment the atmosphere inside Ford Field transforms, the stands vibrating, with the collective roar of a city's soul unleashed? Think about the scars we carry, the '08 bottom-of-the-barrel, 0-16 nightmare that crushed spirits and fractured hopes, the heartbreaking last-second losses in the wild-card games that have turned so many seasons into painful sagas of what if. But now, that darkness seems to shrink. Trembling in the shadow of an ascending force, a lion awakened, hungry and fierce. Could this be the catalyst that brings not only better stats, but a revolution in attitude? A shift from perennial disappointment to steadfast belief, that rare alchemy needed to cross the playoff threshold and turn close calls into crushing victories? And if, by some cosmic miracle, this trade ignites a run deeper into January, could it rewrite the stories fans tell their kids, replacing tales of missed opportunities with legends of grit, glory, and triumph? We've all lived through the endless off-season chatter filled with cautious hope and tentative steps toward a brighter future. But this is different. It's not just the talent. It's the timing, the hunger, the city's longing channeled through the roar of every corner bar, every high school football game, every faded Lions jersey pushing us toward the precipice of greatness. So here's the last question that chills my bones every time I dare to whisper it. If Sheimar Stewart's arrival is the spark, the fuse that ignites this dormant inferno, then what happens when that firestorm hits the gridiron and the roar of the crowd drowns out the ghosts of past failures? Will we finally hear that sound, the unmistakable, earth-shattering Lions roar that echoes beyond Detroit, resounding across the league as a warning that this franchise arrived fierce and unyielding? Or will the silence that followed too many seasons of shattered dreams fall once again, heavier than ever? Time's ticking, the pieces are moving, and the only thing certain is this: the Lions are poised on the edge of something monumental. And the question, no, the challenge to every fan burning with pride, pain, and hope is this: are you ready to roar so loud that history can't ignore us any longer? Can you feel that fire deep in your gut, that wild, relentless surge of energy that tells you this time, this very moment, the Lions will not be denied? Hit that keyboard and scream it to the world, because Detroit's roar isn't just coming. It's about to shake the very foundations of football forever.